Hey there everybody, how's it going? It's me, Jordan, and well, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about, well, what I hate about YouTubers. So I've been a YouTuber for 6 years now, since 2010. That's 6 years. God, that's actually a really long time. And also, can I just say, there are good YouTubers as well. I've met so many great YouTubers, but likewise, I've also met pretty bad YouTubers as well. So I've come across a lot of YouTubers in my past that followed this list that I actually wrote here in front of me that I'm going to be talking to you guys about. So first of all, okay, we're just going to pinpoint the biggest problem, and that's the ego. So obviously, a lot of people in the YouTube community can muster up an ego from fame and, money and stuff like that, and just growing really quick on YouTube. And it's an unfortunate thing that I've actually seen happen quite often, where a person who isn't like that big on YouTube, they somehow get lucky and they blow up, and their ego just blows up with that as well. They just change. They go from who they were to just thinking they're better than you, and you could just see the ego. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna be clear with you guys. I've reached over 160 million views on this channel, and that's incredible. That is amazing. And the fact that I have over 700,000 subscribers is also amazing. But that does not make me feel like I am already better than the average person. That doesn't make me feel like I am above you. And I also don't like to brag about that either. I'm a very modest person. I more or less just kind of keep that to myself. That is more or less one of the bigger problems I have with a lot of YouTubers. But there's also a lot of other things on this list as well. So, besides the obvious ego, is that, when you meet them and you talk to them and you obviously know that you're both YouTubers and you both understand that you guys work in the same industry or blah, 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 and rather than talk to you like a person, they more or less come up to you and start talking about stats. I really, really don't like when people come up to me and they're just like, oh, how's it going? So how many views do you get a month? How many subscribers do you get? How many subscribers do you have? I don't like being spoken to like I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not a person with any other interests. Like I'm some sort of like machine or something. I have other interests. Honestly, if somebody comes up to me, like another YouTuber, and that's the first thing they ask me, that's already a clear sign that either it's an ego or they're after something. It's just rude. It just kind of comes off as rude. Why does that matter? If I have less subs than you, are you like gonna feel more dominant or something? If you're curious, just look it up yourself without having to ask somebody. When I meet other YouTubers, I don't introduce myself as TheFearRaiser first. I like to just say, hey, I'm Jordan, nice to meet you. And if they're like, do you do YouTube? Then I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm TheFearRaiser or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay, and so on and so forth. But if, it's just like, they don't want anything to do with me, but then they know who I am, and then they come up to me because of that. It's just like, that's not cool. Business owners, I don't think, go up to each other and they're like, yo, how much money you making this month, man? How you doing good? Is your business climbing or is it falling? Are you doing okay? But moving on, because I feel like I spoke about this way too much. Another thing I really don't like about some YouTubers is when they come up to you and they talk about money. You speak to a YouTuber and they just start talking about how YouTube is getting the money and stuff like that. It's nobody's business but your own. And talking about how much money you have to some people also comes off as a form of bragging. Because, well, oh yeah, I got like $1 million in the bank, from YouTube. Oh yeah, it's nothing. It's just money. Then they kind of expect to hear how much money you've made. I don't care if you have all this money in your bank from YouTube. That's nice, but again, it's clearly a sign that you have an ego if you're asking me how much money I have, because you're just trying to compare stats and numbers, and just unnecessary. There's no need of it, and you really shouldn't be doing it. Also, I don't like YouTubers who come up to me and are clearly only after me for contacts. I didn't even write this on the list. I just remembered this. It's just like, yo, how's it going, man? Oh, by the way, so you speak to this guy? Yeah, you think you can give me like his contact or something? You're just using me, and that's not cool. Moving on from the personal stuff, so this is something that really gets to me, and I've seen it before. YouTubers who don't give time to their fans when they're brought out to conventions. What do I mean by this? So there's been a few YouTubers that I've known who have been flown out to conventions specifically to see fans and stuff, and it's all been like expenses paid. They're literally flown out to this convention just to see their fans for the convention, obviously, and they're not there. They barely participate, and, you know, again, this is an all expenses paid trip for them to literally take full advantage of, and they don't take the time to actually attend these conventions to see their fans. You're being flown out to a convention, and how many people in their lifetime can say, I was flown out to a convention? Because it's a pretty darn cool feeling, okay? And to take advantage of that in such a bad way and not meet your fans, that's just really not cool. And I've even seen some YouTubers who don't treat their fans very well in person either. And oh, that boils my blood, because that's just not cool. Just the fact that you're backing us up, you're the reason we make videos, you know, you shouldn't be treated like that. You guys are essentially the reason for any YouTuber success. And for a YouTuber to turn around and just treat their own fans like that and to just neglect them, the very people who got them to where they are, that's not cool. That is something I'm totally against. When I go to conventions, I am more than happy. I am actually very excited to meet any fan that comes up to me and says, hey, I've met a few of you guys at Minecon. There was a surprising amount of people who came up to me. And honestly, every time I go to a convention, I never expect a huge line, but there actually was a line. There was actually a lot of people, and it was really cool. It was an amazing feeling, and no matter how many times I go to conventions, it will always be an amazing feeling. And again, it's just not cool that some people, they don't give their fans the time of day, and it's just sad. There is my little rant about what I hate about some YouTubers. Not all YouTubers. Obviously, I clarified I'm not talking about specific people, but of course, just things I have noticed and seen in my experience. But with that being said, though, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more great content. Take care and have a good one.